Alexander had been working maintenance on the Celestial Gateway Station for 3 years when everything changed. The diplomatic summit between humanity and the Velnary Empire was supposed to be routine, another tedious exercise in political theater that kept the peace between species. He hadn't expected to be caught in the middle of it. The station's central plaza had been transformed into something resembling an alien palace. Holographic projections of distant nebulae swirled overhead, and the air hummed with translation devices working overtime. Alexander was underneath an environmental control panel, wrench in hand, when he heard the commotion. A small figure darted through the crowd of dignitaries and guards, moving with desperate speed. The child, no more than 6 or 7 in human years, had luminescent skin that shifted between purple and blue, and delicate crystalline structures along her temples that marked her as Velnary royalty. She crashed directly into Alexander's legs and, without hesitation, wrapped her tiny arms around his calf. "Please," she whispered in surprisingly clear English, her voice trembling. "Don't let them take me back." Alexander froze. His wrench clattered to the floor. Around them, the entire plaza fell silent. The crowd parted like water, and through it came the most imposing figure Alexander had ever seen. Queen Therazin of the Velnary Empire stood nearly 8 feet tall, her ceremonial armor catching the light like captured starlight. Her eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle on her face, fixed on Alexander with an intensity that made his knees weak. "Step away from my daughter," the queen said, her voice carrying a harmonic resonance that seemed to vibrate in Alexander's chest. Behind her, a contingent of Velnary guards raised weapons that hummed with barely contained energy. Human security forces responded in kind, creating a standoff that could ignite an interstellar incident in seconds. Alexander looked down at the small princess still clinging to him. Her eyes, wide and fearful, met his, and in them he saw something universal: terror, a kind of fear that transcended species. "Ma'am," Alexander said, his voice steadier than he felt, "I think maybe we should all take a breath here." "You dare," one of the Velnary guards began, but Queen Therazin raised a hand, silencing him. "A human," she said slowly, studying Alexander with an expression he couldn't read. "Of all the beings in this station, my daughter chose a human." Anna, the station's chief xenopsychology officer, pushed through the human security line. She'd been monitoring the summit from her office when the alerts started flooding in. Now, seeing Alexander standing there with a terrified alien child hiding behind him, she made a split-second decision. "Your Majesty," Anna said, bowing in the Velnary style she'd memorized from countless briefings. "Perhaps we could discuss this in a more private setting?" "The child seems frightened." The queen's crystalline structures flared with purple light anger, Anna recognized from her studies. But beneath it, something else. Was it ... concern? "My daughter," Queen Therazin said, her voice softening slightly, "has been scheduled for the bonding ceremony. It is tradition. It is law. She will be joined with the consciousness of her ancestors, as all Velnary royalty must be." The small princess tightened her grip on Alexander's leg. "I don't want to lose myself," she whimpered. "I want to stay me." Alexander felt something shift in his chest. He'd read about the bonding ceremony in the cultural briefings, how young Velnary royalty underwent a neural procedure that merged their consciousness with the memories and personalities of their predecessors. The species considered it an honor, a way of preserving their wisdom across generations. But this child was begging not to lose her identity. "With respect, Your Majesty," Alexander said, surprised by his own boldness. "On Earth, we have a saying, 'The courage to be yourself is the rarest courage of all.'" The queen's 3 eyes narrowed. "You presume to lecture me on courage? You, who have never led a civilization, never carried the weight of billions on your shoulders?" No, Alexander admitted. But I know what it's like to be forced into something you're not ready for. My parents wanted me to be a diplomat, like them. Instead, I'm fixing air recyclers on a space station. And I've never been happier. Anna watched the exchange with growing amazement. Alexander was either the bravest person she'd ever met, or the most foolish. Possibly both. Your Majesty, Anna interjected carefully. Human psychology research suggests that forced identity modification can lead to severe trauma, regardless of species. Perhaps there could be a compromise? Queen Therazin was silent for a long moment. The entire plaza seemed to hold its breath. Then, slowly, she lowered herself to one knee, bringing her imposing height down to something closer to human level. Her crystalline structures shifted from angry purple to a softer amber. "Daughter," she said gently, "come here." The small princess hesitated, then slowly released Alexander's leg. She walked forward on trembling limbs until she stood before her mother. "You chose a human," the queen said, "because humans are known for one thing above all others, their stubborn insistence on choice, on free will, even when it defies logic." She looked up at Alexander. This maintenance worker risked his life for a principle. Perhaps there is wisdom in that. The queen stood, lifting her daughter into her arms. "The bonding ceremony will be postponed. When you are ready, truly ready, you may choose it. But it will be your choice." The small princess's bioluminescence flared bright with joy. "Thank you, Mother." As the Velnari delegation prepared to leave, Queen Therazin paused before Alexander. "You have given my daughter something precious, human. You have given her hope that she can be herself. For that, the Velnari Empire is in your debt." Alexander, still processing what had just happened, could only nod dumbly. After they left, Anna approached him with a grin. "Well, that's one way to make history. First human to make a Velnari queen reconsider a 1,000-year-old tradition." Alexander picked up his dropped wrench, hands still shaking slightly. "I just didn't want the kid to be scared." "Sometimes," Anna said thoughtfully, "that's all it takes to change the galaxy."